Topic number 3. The Witcher television show is coming to Netflix. So this is their second Netflix show. Now, I already know how pumped you guys are for the Dark Crystal prequel series. How do you feel about a Witcher show? That's a perfect segue.
This one I could actually get behind.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Now, Witcher is based on a bunch of books. It's not just a video game,
correct.
right? Because I didn't know that until after The Witcher 3 came out.
And I think even the writer of the books is serving as the creative consultant on the series too.
Oh, okay.
So,
Did you ever read the books?
No.
Okay.
Nope. No, didn't get that far.
Did you play the other games besides 3?
No. Just I mean, I would watch like videos on them, but never actually did the playthroughs.
Have you gotten into The Witcher at all?
No, this isn't a game I've played.
How about the books?
I know that you've played it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of one of those Skyrim style games, right? Where you're kind of creating your character.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, but I mean, you're Geralt. You're playing one.
You do, but you can make him. There's enough.
You can make choices.
Yeah, there's choices and enough variability in how you make what kind of person you make him into, what kind of fighter you make him into. So there's
right.
Some
have you read any of the Witcher books?
I have not read any of the Witcher books.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a game though that's styled under like D&D rules type thing?
Nope.
Or?
Nope.
I mean, how do you? I don't know how to put it into.
I put it just more as an action RPG game. You have a guy that you kind of run around. You can level him up. You can build him up, but it's not as intricate of a leveling system as like your others, where there's like 20 different stats that you build up. It's not that complex. It's
pretty
pretty
complex to me, but again, maybe I just didn't.
Maybe just the skill trees.
Yeah,
it's almost within the same realm of Horizon.
Yeah.
As far as
really?
As far as
when
how
you get into it,
yeah.
Because I mean, Horizon, I was able to wrap my head around no problem.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing as far as building up the character and what you do with them, as far as spells or weapons or things like that. So
it looked gorgeous when I watched you play it. I just didn't know. You know what I did? I'm trying to think how much of it I watched you play. How far did you get into the game?
I think I got like a few chapters in. So again, I obviously not.
Were you familiar with like the backstory of what led to that point?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm so behind the series is that the setting that this story is in really lends itself to some really good storytelling. You kind of have you can kind of think of it as medieval Europe, so kind of like foresty, cold, wet in some places. You're not going to a tropical area, you're not in beaches, but you're looking at kind of like a village and warring kingdoms. There are some political aspects as far as kind of how kingdoms and groups work with each other, how they interact with each other. But like the big thing is, I just love the concept of The Witcher as far as these groups of people.
Remind me what they actually are.
So the idea is you have this magic and magical creatures, magical beasts. They exist in this realm. So what Witchers are, they're these group of people that are essentially made. They're people that are made into more than people. They're trained.
They're not born that way.
They're not born that way. No, they're made.
Okay.
And that's kind of one of the kickers too. Is that for I think there's like a ceremony to really make somebody into a Witcher, and you can kind of tell because they have what are essentially cat eyes. That's the way they can identify them. But I think that like the success rate is like 1 in 10 people that go through this thing actually survive, and whatever it does, it physically changes these people, so that they're very durable. They can use like kind of what I would call like some low level magic. They're not going to be sorcerers or anything of that scale, but they can use practical magic is what I would call. Strong in survival. They're very knowledgeable in the lore of the creatures that they're going after, as far as how to take them down, how to interact with them, what's what.
Is that because they're trained, or
yeah?
They just, okay.
Oh, it's all training. Yeah,
okay.
It's
they choose to do this, or are they forced to? Or
I am not sure. Well, because when they do it, they're young. I mean, they're raised into this thing. Like somebody doesn't, 30 years old, decide like I'm going to be a Witcher.
Okay.
But
like
again,
the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Padawan, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the more you think about that, just the ethics of it, like you're basically forcing a child to become
taking babies.
Yeah. Can the child ever say, no thanks, like I'm good, or
it's not for me?
But yeah, so this Witcher class, they're needed and they're hired to kind of like go into this village because we have some kind of beast that's terrorizing us, and it's across the whole gamut. They have vampires and werewolves and demons and goblins and all this other stuff.
So they're almost kind of like bounty hunters that they
more or less,
Okay.
more or less. And the story of Geralt is pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of good characters that are in the series. There's like the poet Dandelion, who's essentially kind of narrates the whole thing. But there's the kingdoms themselves, as far as usurping the throne, different orders of magic. But there's just so much. There's such a wealth of different story elements there that can be pulled from to really make some kind of interesting, what I would say, just like episodes that really can easily feed into a bigger arc.
How much of the original books and stuff like that were centered around this Geralt character, or was he just?
No, I think the entire series was centered around him. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's not going to be like a Game of Thrones things where you have all these families that have equal weight in the story.
Well, no. I mean, if they gear it around the books, which from what I understand they're going to, this thing is still going to be focused around Geralt, and I think that's easy enough because there's so much that he does, and he's not just like a one-trick pony.
Yeah,
there's depth to this guy, and this the series was nice in that you could make some morality choices, so you could kind of develop him how you wanted to, but it's. The thing with the Witcher series is that it's just so expansive.
Right.
You could kind of go everywhere, and you could have all these interesting experiences based off of, some of them are more mythological than others. Some of it could just be like, all right, well, how do you deal with, or how does a Witcher interact with maybe a village of people that hate Witchers? It could be like, well, how does a king trying to deal with lords that might be not most loyal? How is he inserted into all these different scenarios? And I mean, if it's done anything like what was in the games, this would be a pretty interesting series to watch.
I can't. I don't see it here, but it looks like we don't have many details on this, so we don't know if this is going to be live action, animated, anything.
I think that. I mean, I'd hope that they would want to do this live action.
Live action.
Yeah, because that would. Yeah, because there's not. There's a real opportunity for costuming and character designs on this without not every corner you turn around you're going to come across some CGI beast that needs to be animated.
Yeah.
There's enough content there that can be done just with live action shooting that I think could really tell the story a little bit better than trying to make a CGI. It'd be a nice way to portray Geralt, obviously, because he's never been seen this way, but I think he's a very easy character to really use this kind of medium for. I mean, if you look at character designs for him, he looks like a real guy.
Right.
The people that he interacts with, other characters within the stories,
don't they all have silver hair, or is that?
Don't just him. Not everybody has silver hair.
So it's not like they're Targaryens. For those of you that need to know,
thanks. And check in the correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but my understanding is that not everybody that's a Witcher has the silver hair. I know they all have the eyes, but I don't think that the hair is also part of it. But.
It sounds like they've got a lot of good content to mine from. And yeah, I mean, you could do almost a lot of different varied Star Trek kind of episodes.
Yeah,
very
easily.
That are philosophical too. So, and let's be honest.
And I guess I had those same questions. I mean, the thing I know about The Witcher is that it's visually stunning for a game. So I didn't know if it was going to be live action or if it was going to be computer animation.
Yeah.
But it is good to hear that. I mean, if they have those opportunities, I'm hoping that they're going to take advantage of them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. What kind of audience does The Witcher usually go for? It's not really like Game of Thrones mature, is it? It's kind of more like, what is it, young adult?
Well, I wouldn't go. I don't want to say young adult, but it's definitely more of like a fantasy crowd.
What are the games rated?
Mature.
Oh, they better be M, because I know you're straight up giving it to the ladies.
In the game.
Well, yeah, it sounds like Game of Thrones. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need something to watch soon.
Yeah, you got to get into start watching those games because I know I'm gonna get text messages from them.
Yeah.
You better hurry too before someone spoils it, dude.
Yeah, I'm not reading comments.
Okay, good.
No.
He says that
I'll get
until he
to it in
reads
my
one
own
that
time.
screws everything up too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about the Witcher series coming to Netflix. Best idea ever, or
The bestest idea ever.
Eh.
let us know what you think.